Well, somebody's getting my stream. I don't know where it's at. This is very odd.
Let me see real quick if it's processing anywhere for the game. Yeah, nope. Not showing anywhere else.
Yeah, it just isn't showing up. I don't know why. It has the right codes and everything. Well, that isn't good. Ah, there we go. Man, if it's delayed that long. Holy smoly. All right, let me know if you guys can, let me know when you guys hear my voice in chat. It took a long time for the stream to show up. So you'll hear us chatting because I was swapping all over trying to find where the stream was going to. So I'm really curious how much the delay is. That was very long on my side. You'll hear us chatting because I was swapping all over trying to find where
Cool. Long. Yeah. Can hear it now.
Okay, so maybe it's going to start picking up. That might be my initial conversations with you guys, though. It was like a minute at least. Anyway. All right. Well, I'll do this and see when it shows up. Here's see how much this delay is. So I'm just going to let it sit here for a second. Okay, yeah, it's gone a lot faster then. Okay. So on my side, that's probably about 20 seconds delay, it looks like, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, this is going to be kind of a replacement for the the normal dev update we do about every 2 weeks. And at the end of it, we'll probably just go through and summarize and post on the forums as well. So people that aren't, because there aren't a lot of people watching the stream right now. And we'll do a post on the forums as well so everybody else can read it. So as everybody knows, the current status of the game is, I think most people that's probably in the stream know. So we've released the game. We almost have all the alpha testers in. There's still several hundred more alpha testers. I think there's like 500 in that range roughly. Alpha testers we need to finish inviting in. We wanted to get the patch out. So what happened with patch number 1 is it had some stability fixes in it that we wanted to have go live before we started inviting alpha testers in as well. And so that's why those two were kind of hand in hand essentially, is we got the patch released, and then right after the patch was released, then we started inviting alpha testers. Because we're trying to make the servers obviously as stable as possible. And we found a couple more issues that we fixed since then on the servers. And so we might be pushing out another server-only patch that will increase the stability even more. And we won't do another client patch for that if that's the case. So we might have the servers go down shortly and just apply the stability patch. So we're hoping to get the rest of those alpha testers in this weekend. In fact, I'm probably going to send out some more keys later on tonight. And we'll just kind of see how things go from there. Yeah. So that's kind of the current status of the game. And as far as for being for sale on Steam, we're still doing some discussions around that internally. It's kind of a, the fall season going into Christmas here in the United States is kind of a bad time to release new games in general because there's a lot of sales that go on. And there are also a lot of just new games, sales, and everything. So it's really tricky on when to do that. So we're trying to decide. So we don't have a date yet, but as soon as we know, we'll let people know on the date. We've had a lot of people ask about the sale of the game, because we took pre-orders down. And we'll just sell it through Steam now. So that's kind of the current status of the game. We hope to have it on Steam soon. That's probably Ryan hiding in the bush. I don't know who that is. Is that you, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things I wanted to do is talk just a little bit about the world design. If you guys have played the game so far, you'll know that the map, the map size is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers, but we don't have a lot of that finished yet. And we have, the invisible walls up to help compensate for that, to keep people from, wandering off into unknown areas. And one of our biggest focuses right now will be expanding the map and increasing it so there's more areas to go to and more areas to explore. We're on a private server just because we didn't want people messing with us. Well, we were talking the other day about doing kind of a play with the devs type situation where we'll have all the developers join a server as well. And we'll probably schedule something like that soon, and so we can all get in and play together. But yeah, for this I didn't want people messing with us. Some people are cool about it, and some people aren't. So how that goes. Anyway, so I'm gonna run down here and talk while I'm running. So as I mentioned, what we're going to be doing is expanding the map here really soon. Our level designers are currently finishing up this current area. If you wander around all the current area, you'll still find places with kind of vegetation that's lacking. And we want to definitely get that kind of wrapped up. It's really close already, but get that wrapped up and then move on to another area so people have more areas to explore. And I'll watch chat here as I run. In vehicles, yeah, first and third, definitely. Bandages. So what happened with the bandages is the regeneration for the health was broken. And we wanted to get that working first. And that seems to be working correctly now. And I hope to have bandages in the next update. And so those go in. We're kind of trying to release stuff in stages, essentially, and keep things nice and stable. So you can tell it's a foggy day on the island. Animations for picking up items, yeah, that's some of those animations like that are kind of more fluff. They're really nice to have, but they aren't essential for gameplay. Right now we're focusing on all the animations for gameplay, and then we'll start adding in a lot of the fun animations as well. And if the animators get bored, there's several kind of fun animations that we can add on top of that. So, and when it comes to the other thing I want to talk about, I have kind of a list that I'm going to go through and just kind of talk about in general. So on the subject of items, one of our big focuses as well is going to be on adding more items to the game. We already have some ideas for stuff that will, not necessarily ideas, but we have some stuff that we're going to be adding to the next update as far as for items. And we'll just keep adding those over time as well. Our plan right now is first to get everything stable so things don't crash, obviously. And it's been really stable overall. We've had a few minor server issues here and there, but they've been really easy to identify and fix. All those have been fixed within minutes. And so it's been really good so far to us about this. So overall, things have been great from a stability standpoint. I think somebody aggroed a spiker. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the... I think somebody... Yeah, anyway. So I'll talk about the sounds. We have a couple of guys. They actually have a company called Twin Raven, and they're a sound development studio, and they're doing all the sounds. They're doing all the sounds for the game, and they've been doing an awesome job on the sounds. We have a lot of sounds, and we also have a lot of sounds that they've given us that are not in the game yet, that I need to work on getting them in still. Yeah, I don't know where he's at. He's around somewhere. You hear him growling. So on the sounds, every update we'll probably be adding new sounds as well, and getting more and more sounds in the environment. Right now, things like the feet sound like they're shuffling a lot. That's just a configuration that we have to change. So there's kind of a lot of stuff like that as well. So yeah, the sounds are something we'll just continually update. And are you guys fighting him?
Oh, I hear him now too. Oh, here.
Oh, he's chasing the deer.
He's chasing my deer.
Yeah, he doesn't like deer.
Oh, damn it.
He does. Anyway, so that was one of our surprises in the last update, was we added all the sounds to Spiker. And anyway, I'm going to back up so he doesn't aggro on me. But so that's kind of the update on the sounds. We're continually working on those. The ambient sounds and character sounds and item sounds, everything is being worked on continuously. Okay, let me read chat here. We open pre-order option later. We're not going to do pre-orders again. They'll be on Steam soon. And we'll make an announcement on the forums as soon as it's on Steam. And down the road, you plan on making a decent character customized screen? Yes, we will do that. I don't know how advanced we're going to get as far as for MMO-style options. A lot of the MMO-style games just have an enormous amount of options, and I don't see us doing something like that. It would be a real long time down the game, but we definitely want to have different races you can pick, different kind of general looks of the player as well. So everybody, to add more variety when you start the game, so not, everybody doesn't look identical. Heard something behind me. Anyway, don't bring him over here. I don't want to mess with him right now.
I pushed my luck too far. He killed me.
Yeah, take him away from me. I don't want him. Anyway. And that's why you don't mess with him. Now he's going to come kill me, you guys. I'll go over here and he won't bug me probably. Anyway. All right, sorry. Let me look here. I'll just kind of answer some questions as I go through my list. So what areas will mostly have radiation? We're still working on the radiation system. Oh, he saw me. I'm going to run away from me here for a minute. And we have a couple of ideas for how to introduce radiation. But right now there isn't any radiation in the game. Founders Club in Steam. I would like to have something like that in Steam. Again, right now our focus hasn't been on selling the game, it's been on stabilizing the game. We want to make sure it works well for everybody that's purchased it so far. And we haven't done really anything about actually selling it yet through Steam. We kind of an order of priorities there. All right, I'm hiding. Okay.
He's still following you?
No.
Ah.
Will there be a Founders Club? I answered that. Any news about the animations? We're continually working on the animations. In fact, I got a new batch of animations yesterday from the animator that's been working on all them. As he's cleaning stuff up. The animations is something, and it's going to be a work in progress for a long time. There's a lot of animations we want to add, and eventually...
Go. Dang it. That Spiker is on a mission.
And I like that there's sounds now because you have a better idea of where they're at.
Yeah.
And we eventually want to go the mocap route as well with animations and make them really nice and clean. We tried some cheaper mocap solutions, and they just weren't giving us the quality we want, and it's really hard to synchronize all the animations up if you do them that way. It's pretty tricky. Crytek has a very advanced animation system in it, and you have to have a lot of animations, and they all have to be working together to make them work right. And so eventually the plan is to go the mocap route, but that will be something obviously that has to wait for revenue. Oh, guys, I don't know where they're at.
I'm trying to keep the Spiker away from you. I'm right beside you, I think.
I'm kind of overlooking the road here.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. All right.
I'm walking back down. I think that was Graham that died down there. Yeah.
I don't know, there's one around somewhere. Anyway, um, Linux support. Guys, there he is. Okay, Linux support. The free version. I shouldn't say the free version. The engine is a solution that we use from Crytek. It doesn't support Linux yet. Rumor is that that will probably be coming around GDC timeframe in 2015. So if that happens, we'll definitely look at Linux support. I'm a huge Linux fan. I could go into my history with Linux, but I was using Linux a long time ago. I used to send emails directly to Linus to give you an idea of my involvement. Tennis shoes, canvas shoes, it's just for look. Yeah, those are just purely cosmetic items. All right, so anyway, I was talking about items before we got distracted. So items is another area. We'll just keep adding items as fast as we can. The focus lately has been the prefabs. A lot of you that have played or watched the streams know that we still have some empty houses. And all the modelers right now are focused on getting those houses finished. We want to get all those finished. And furniture in them. Is he attacking another deer?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it's our opportunity to go to Sultan if you want to go now, because he's finally distracted.
He does not like deer. He's looking for food. All right, I'm going to go run past him for now. All right,
Yeah.
anyway. I don't have any weapons, and so he will kill me if I try to fight him.
Question about crafting. What do we have to craft right now?
I'm going to go down here. Okay, I'm just going to stop here for a minute. So crafting, right now in the game, you can only craft the crafting components, so like the lumber and the sheet metal. That was our test, just to have people test out the crafting system to make sure. Like the progress bar and everything you see on that crafting window, they were all pretty new. And so we wanted to test those before we rolled out more crafting. And there's a couple of issues we need to look at still on the placement. So some of the people who have been around for a long time may know what happened is that Crytek updated their engine essentially that we use back in, I think it was around March or April. And because of that, we had to re-implement pretty much everything in the game and start over. And that's why it's taken us so long. We had to redo animations and sounds. All of the code had to be ported over and re-implemented. And that's why it was delayed several months past when we expected. And so there are a lot of features in videos that if you look at the videos on YouTube that we've implemented, and all those just have to be retested and kind of touched up is kind of the issue there. So obviously the whole crafting system with bases and everything was fully functional over a year ago in the code, and we just need to just double check everything essentially is what it comes down to. All right. On the materials and the textures in the game, on the forums we've asked for feedback on several areas, and we've been going through. That's kind of a lower priority, but as people report issues in the game, we've been trying to jump on those and get those fixed. And like kind of the missing textures, and sometimes you'll see the little white boxes appear for missing surface types. And so we've been kind of touching all that type of stuff up as we go. And so if you guys see anything like that in the game, feel free to post on the forums in the alpha section, and we'll try to get those in the next update. So we appreciate you guys taking your time to do that. It's a pretty complex world already, and sometimes we just miss stuff. For example, I was watching a stream of a guy in France, and he found a tree that he could walk through that none of us knew about. And so little things like that are great, just to kind of let us know. Okay, let me see what questions I missed. Sorry, I'm alt-tabbing out here. Parkour style features, like animation for climbing over fence. There's an entire vaulting system that is actually built into CryEngine that we can use. We just need to set it up. For example, vaulting over these fences to the side. We just need to set it up. There's little markers we have to add and then add animations. So Again, that's something that would be fun to add. It isn't essential for gameplay, but we would definitely like to do it down the road. Will there be some kind of statistics for the game? We actually are tracking a lot of statistics right now, and there's several reasons for that. And we want to have some type of statistics, yes. Again, core features. We're a small team right now, and so we definitely have to prioritize on the features and add things that are the most critical. Yeah, snow on this map, I don't think we'll do it. I think it'd be better just to wait, but we'll see. There are snow entities and stuff we can use, but I don't know if we'll do that or not. But I'm not planning on it. All right.
Should try keeping, I think, Sultan's up this way.
Yeah, I'll keep moving here. Because I'm just kind of going through my list as I'm moving here. Bandages don't work currently. Mob Marley. Oh, darn it. He's attacking somebody over there or something. It's pretty funny because they chase the deer a lot.
Fine by me.
That's actually a tactic. You run by the deer and he'll start chasing the deer instead of you currently.
He was on a hell hunt to kill me.
Yeah.
Could not shake him.
Yeah, we'd love to get a full source license to CryEngine at some point. There's a lot of stuff we could do if we do that. We're a little bit limited on what we can do. And there are times that issues come up and we don't know how to resolve them because we don't have access to Crytek's layers. And honestly, sometimes it comes down to guesswork to figure out what's wrong.
That's a question. Digik, whatever, original, says he was asking a question about like the form of like housing or a safe house or someplace that you can like store materials and stuff like that.
That'll be part of the base building eventually.
Okay. I know right now that your stuff does transfer with you, at least over server. So if you've got stuff in a pack or something on your body, I know that does go over.
Yeah. I'm going to go run in here for a minute. Let's see. Would you guys consider adding a bio page to your website? I'd like to know more about the devs. We've talked about that. Again, it's just, there's so many things we would love to do, both for the game and for the community, and it's just, right now, it's just a juggling act. We're focused on the game at this point, and hopefully that'll change and we can, have additional resources to help out with kind of some fun stuff like that.
There's a beanie behind you, a t-shirt over here.
Yeah, I was going to talk about looting here in a minute, is why I came in here in general. Will there be a group system with invitations so when you play together you can see like a little tag? There will be no tags in the game above players' heads. We've talked numerous times about having in-game ways to identify people, and that's probably what we'll do, is some type of in-game or organic approach instead, so you can identify your friends. And also, the more items we add to the game, the easier it is to identify your friends because they'll stand out. You'll remember, oh, he has the red beanie and the orange backpack type of a thing. But we do want some more in-game style ways as well. If you guys have questions, for those that might have been here last time, if you put Miscreated in your question, then it shows up as red, and so it's really easy for me to identify questions. So I'd recommend you do that if you have a question rather than just kind of commenting.
Ooh, there's 2 backpacks back here.
Yeah. Openable objects, yes. We have a few in right now. There's the kind of the white fridge, that some of those are openable, and there's also the black double fridge, and a couple of those are openable in the game as well. It's kind of confusing right now, and I apologize because some of those you can open and some you can't open, and so we need to make all those consistent so people aren't trying to open stuff that they can't. Underground areas, yes, we will definitely have more underground areas. There's a lot of stuff we can do with underground areas. We actually had caves, we had kind of tunnels, bunkers. We have quite a few assets in some of those areas right now that we could get Some of them haven't been PBR converted, and so we can get those in, but definitely want to do that.
Got my sweet swag on.
There you go. Vehicles, eventually. So vehicles, we want to have a really nice repair system where you kind of fix them up and find parts and everything and do something really cool there. We weren't able to do that up until a few months ago because Crytek didn't release the source code to the vehicle system. But now we have that, so we can do anything we want with vehicles. So yeah, we can do a lot more there. Let's see. Rep system. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So like kind of old Daisy Bandit system, I think you might be referring to there. No, there isn't any plan for something like that. Like I said, a lot of those things, we have some ideas for organic stuff to kind of get an idea in the game for how long players have been alive and such. And we'd kind of rather go that route. Cooperative animations, yes, we were just talking about those in team chat a couple of days ago, in fact, again. Hackers, we have both. So Valve Anti-Cheat is integrated, so we can use that anytime we want. And then on the back end, we're tracking a lot of data. You know, everything that goes to our database is being tracked, and there's also telemetry data that we're going to really start looking at. And not only for hackers, but also for statistics. All right, I'm going to kind of go on my list here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about AI. So if you guys were able to play in the first round with the AI, you notice there were a lot of cases where, especially in the town we're in right now, we call it Sultan, S-U-L-T-A-N. And the other one, the bigger one, kind of over across the other bridges, is called Woodhaven. In Woodhaven, what happened is Woodhaven was a lot more of a complex town. And so the AI weren't able to process their paths fast enough. And that's why when you got to Woodhaven previously, in the prior version, the AI were basically standing around. So we did a lot of work on the AI in this version that's currently released. So all the AI should be moving now, and we also increased the number of AI that's in the game at once. And you know, the AI spawn in and spawn out as needed and everything, so they're all over the place as players move in. But AI is something we'll continually be working on. If you notice in this current update, for example, if you chase a deer, he only runs, you know, 100 feet, 30 meters or so, then stops, and it's like he's taunting you. He runs and stops and runs and stops. So we'll be fixing all that type of stuff as well, but the base AI seems to be working great right now. They're all moving, they're all interacting. So it's a matter of just, you know, continually fine-tuning that. And that'll be a very long-term stuff. There'll be a lot of different stuff we do there.
Here, give you the backpack with the gear in it. There you go.
Okay. All right. Free loot. Yeah.
You didn't have to kill me for it.
I'm nice. What are you talking about?
Of course, if I wanted it back.
Are you able? What are you going to do about hackers? Okay, you just discussed that. When a lot of items are put in, will it be a couple? I'm not sure what you're saying there, Savage. A lot of items are put in. Will it be a couple? Sorry, I'm not sure. I don't think that translated really well. So every building will be enterable, yes. Even the highest ones, yes. Now, when we get to the big city, I don't want to set false expectations. You know, if you have a building that's 10 stories tall, you know, players aren't going to sit there and go through every door in all 10 stories. And so what we might do is block off some of the middle ones, is stuff like that. So I shouldn't, you know, every building will be enterable, but you know, every single room and every single floor, you know, just for gameplay purposes, we might block some of those stuff off, just because it doesn't, you know, doesn't make sense. If you have an apartment with 400 rooms in it, you know, nobody's going to take time to go through all 400 rooms. That just won't happen. What makes this game different from H1Z1? All these games are different. You know, they're all survival games, but they're all different. You know, we're going the mutant route, obviously. That was the original design instead of zombies as well. So, you know, we don't plan on ever having hordes like you would expect, you know, a typical zombie horde. Our AI is going to be smarter and a little bit more powerful. As you've seen with Spiker, you don't want to 1v1 him already. Until you have a weapon, he's best just to avoid. And that's one of the reasons he also doesn't run as fast as the player, is because he'd be really overpowered if he could stay up with you, because he'd kill you every time. Will there be a sleeping bag or crafted bed in which you will be spawned after death? No plans for that, no. We have had talks though about respawning in a base. So if you set up your own base, we've talked about having you be able to respawn in the base, but we also need to balance that out so people can't continually respawn there if somebody's attacking. Let's see. Player count in multiplayer. The version of CryEngine we use maxes at 64. We cannot exceed that without a full source code license. Right now the servers are all set at 32, and we're just looking at how well they perform and, you know, the stability and everything. So kind of my general analysis so far is I haven't seen any lag at all from a server yet. Like I mentioned earlier, we did have a couple servers that went down and we fixed it and brought them back up. But from what I've seen, the servers are running really well right now. I haven't seen really any issues at all from anything. So that's looking really good. And based on just kind of how it goes when we hit the 32 players in the servers, we might look at having some 64 players or 48. One of the issues right now is the map. Because of the area of the map that's currently finished, if we try to put 64 players in the finished area right now, it would just be a PvP zone. I mean, that would just be way too many people for the current area. So it wouldn't make much sense besides just maybe doing a stress test. But for playability standpoint, 64, you know, and what we have, I don't think it'd be very fun for players. Yes, it is permadeath. Oh yes, the base mark. I presume you mean the plot sign. Yeah, there's a plot sign you have to place down to kind of claim an area. And one of the reasons for the plot sign is so other players can't build and kind of grief your base. That's one of the reasons for that is you kind of reserve an area around your plot sign that nobody else can build. Is it possible to fix the frames per second on a large screen resolution? In CryEngine, there's a max FPS command that you can add to a config file, if that's what you're referring to. Right now it's set to 60, I believe is what we set it to by default. Play and talk, yeah, sorry. So the reason I came in here is I want to talk a little bit about looting in this game. The reason for that is, this is a little bit feedback. We've watched a lot of streams and seen a lot of people play the game, and I think a lot of people are still using kind of the DayZ style approach, where they come in, they expect to see things, you know, on the floors and in obvious view. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that is a lot more hidden, and I would really recommend to people to take a little bit more time and try to really learn where things spawn at in the game, especially things like backpacks and pistols. They're hidden a little bit at times, and so with the exception of this place, because Ryan kind of went overboard on the backpacks. But
whoops.
But yeah, especially in houses. Definitely in houses, go in and look around in corners of the houses. If you just walk into a bedroom and scan it, you're going to miss, I would guess, half the items in the bedroom.
Let's see if Jen, I think this is Jen in the pink beanie. Let's see if she can, oh, there you go, she dropped the hatchet for you.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
Anyway, so that was kind of my feedback on looting I wanted to kind of talk about. That's the reason I came in here is definitely spend some more time looking around. You know, when you come in here, you know, look, we spawn stuff on all, I shouldn't say on every shelf, but we spawn stuff on these shelves in all the different houses. All those little shelves there can have spawn, you know, loot in them. Stuff, see like right there? Stuff can appear inside of the containers. You know, all those type of things. In fact, there's one on the shelf. That one's pretty obvious, but definitely I would recommend to people in general to spend a little bit more time looking. You know, jump around at times and look.
Should go check if the houses. I think Marco updated the houses.
I'm not sure where that hatchet at. There's a hatchet there somewhere. Anyway.
Ooh.
So that's kind of my general feedback. Is spend a little bit more time, for the players. Ah, see that was.
Where's it hidden?
Now you guys know a spawn spot for that. Yeah, you guys just learned something.
Woo. Oh, it's a pistol.
Giving away secrets. Anyway, that's a prime example, guys. Look around. Spend a little bit more time.
Oh, did she? No way.
Okay. Anyway.
Yes.
So that's my little spiel about that on the spawns. There's been a few people that are convinced our spawn system is broken. I can guarantee you the spawn system is not broken. We've double checked it and it's working fine. Now I don't know overseas if you guys have Easter, but in the United States we have Easter where they hide Easter eggs out on the lawn and stuff. And I'm kind of using this as an analogy because when you first put all the Easter eggs, the kids run through and all the easy Easter eggs are gone right away immediately. And there's always Easter eggs that are hidden. And so once the servers have been running for a while, a lot of the easy stuff is going to be gone. Oh, take the pistol. Did anybody pick it up or should I go get it?
I did. I got the pistol.
All right, can you drop it for me?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm looting the grocery store.
Oh, somebody else got the other pistol.
Oh, I think that's Jen. Here, are you back on that main road?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm basically by the gas station.
Cool. Not the pistol.
Thank you.
Yep. Do we fix that bug with the pistols? Or was that only just after you kill somebody?
That was after you kill somebody.
Okay, cool.
All right, so there's the pistol. You don't have a mag. Oh, I have a mag.
I put a little surprise in the backpack.
There we go. That's the pistol. Sorry. Yeah, as Agil, I hope that's the way you pronounce your name there. There's a lot of spawn spots around. So yeah, you definitely have to look. People that run in quick, they're going to miss a lot of stuff. That's just kind of where it's at.
I saw a couple streamers today that totally blew past a ton of stuff.
I actually saw a streamer last night that went into a bedroom and there was a pistol on. As you walk in the bedroom on the left, there's a table in some of the houses. There was a pistol lying down on the table and he walked in and never even saw it. And I'm just like, all right, you got to be a little bit more observant. So on the spawn, like I mentioned, I'll go down here. Somebody wanted to see a mutant. We were running from some down here a while ago. On the spawn system, it is not broken. And we're not going to reveal the specifics, but things do respawn. And there should always be loot in the world. So that shouldn't be an issue. So yeah, there will always be stuff to find. I can guarantee it. But, over time, it'll be, probably harder and harder to find loot. So you have to be a little bit more observant in this game to find loot. Will we be able to open cabinets and drawers later to find loot? Yes. There will be more stuff. And there'll probably also be containers where when you open it, the server will determine what's in it. And that'll kind of be an anti-cheat measurement, so nobody knows what is in it until somebody actually walks up to it and opens it as well. So I'm going to go back over and see if I find this mutant for you, bud.
Ooh. I got another pistol mag for you.
The world map is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers, but only about, I would say 15% of it is done. I wouldn't say 20% right now. So there's a lot more that we'll be adding to this. I'm just kind of listening here for a spiker. They kind of growl now.
Should probably try to figure that 20% is populated on the map. We have it blocked out. It's just not.
I don't know if I killed him though.
It's just not finished to this quality.
Yeah. Yeah. He got away from me. That was a deer.
You find the spiker?
No, I shot a deer and he ran off.
Hmm.
Anyway. No, I'll try to find a spiker here while I'm walking around a minute. Add one Asia server. We're rolling out servers. Right now what we're trying to do is fill up some of the current servers just for stress testing before we start adding too many other servers. So we will add more servers. Originally we didn't think we'd be able to have servers in Australia because of the price. And I got informed that is possible now. So the plan is to also have a server in Australia. That'll make Carl very happy and pleased.
Carl will be happy.
Yeah. That'll make Carl happy. Happy Carl. Sorry, I'm trying to find a spiker. They're just random, so sometimes you find them, some you don't. Pre-order purchase in Steam this year? Yes, it'll be out way before the end of the year. So.
Oh.
Is that a growl?
Oh, here's one.
Where
Got it. All right, so you remember where that deer was? Or that bridge that we crossed over?
Yeah.
He's killed a deer and he's standing on the bank admiring his kill. Oh, so you guys are over on the
bridge. The bridge to Woodhaven?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, here actually, I'll bait him for you.
I'm coming.
There we go. Come on, little bastard. Oh, and a deer too. Feeding frenzy right now for him. Yeah, we're just going down that main road, so.
So you're coming from Woodhaven?
Yep.
All right, I'm heading that way.
I have a magazine for you too, so.
All right.
They don't die.
So you went across the bridge towards Woodhaven?
No, I'm sorry. Come back to
Sultan. All right.
That area where he was at the first time.
The bend?
Yep, yeah. He had chased the deer around the corner.
I'm at the bend.
Yep, there you go. So he's coming up right behind me now.
All right.
Little loop-de-loop here.
So do the loop-de-loop for a minute. People can hear the sounds. He growls as he's chasing people. Anyway, okay, I'll let them kind of watch him for a minute here. He's going to kill you, buddy.
Turn my flashlight off.
Let's see. Have you thought about first-person only game? This will be a first and third, but we'll have first-person servers. We're not going to remove third-person because some people like third-person. I prefer to play in third-person, but I understand there's the cheating mechanism of third-person that people exploit, but that's just, if you're going to play in third-person, it's the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And so the whole first-person, third-person debate, it's kind of pointless, to be honest. Some like it, some don't, and it just, anyway.
We need to have Jen come over here real fast and distract him so I can drop this magazine for you.
You can just drop it. I guess you can, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I want to kind of talk about is, so in this last patch, if you played the first version and then you played this version, you'll notice the camera movement system in third person is different. It's a lot smoother now because it's using kind of an interpolation system. And that's something we're testing with right now. And there's a way to turn it off, and we'll reveal that. I shouldn't say reveal, but we'll show that how to turn that off for people that don't like it. And so there'll be stuff like this we kind of experiment with over time. But that doesn't mean that we're going to leave it in the game, long term. It's just something we're trying to get feedback from the player base on. So if you see stuff like this appear, please don't panic. It's just something we're kind of trying out.
There you go. Here's some garb for you. Magazine, some drinks.
All right. Is the canteen? All right. So I can use the canteen wasn't empty. I'll throw these out. Okay. Okay. Items, materials, textures, sounds, AI, the spawn system. So yeah, so the spawn system with the items, like I mentioned earlier, I would recommend just moving around. If you stay in one area, the spawns don't respawn in that area nearly as fast, and so it's recommended you kind of move around. That's kind of just part of the system, so people can't sit there and farm stuff all day long. All right, will the clothes you wear protect you in a way? Yes. Not currently, but yes, they will. Okay.
Don your cowboy hat or your...
System requirements. If you go to our old buy page, so you go to miscreated.com/buy. That was our pre-order page, but pre-orders are taken down, but the system requirements are still there. And when we release on Steam, we'll have system requirements on Steam as well, so you can see those. Right now, Trinity Games is doing all of our servers, and they were very generous. What happens is I actually contacted several hosting companies and asked if they'd be willing to let us use a server for a few months while we finished up the game. And Trinity Games is very nice and offered, and some of the other ones either didn't respond or flat out told us no. And so that's why we're going with Trinity Games for now. Yeah, I was very nice, approached them all very politically, and some of them almost were not nice at all in their responses. So I wasn't asking for a handout, but I was just trying to have a conversation with them about it. And so anyway, Trinity Games have been awesome. We've been very impressed with them so far. Their servers have been great. Haven't had any issues at all. Over time, we'll see if we need to add other hosting providers or not. But for now, there are no plans to switch hosting providers. All right. A couple other things I wanted to mention. We're going to work on getting ladders working in the game in the near future. I don't know if that'll be in the next patch. It'll probably be in the next couple of patches. Once we add the ladders, that'll add some more playability to the game as well. And before, we also had craftable ladders. So you could actually, that's one of the crafting items, crafting ladders for your base.
Should run over to Woodhaven while you're answering questions.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
I distracted you there with a spiker.
So, Rela Kofla, I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names. If you see stuff like that, I'll take a mental note of that. But on the forums, so if you go to miscreatedgame.com/forums, on the forums, there's actually sections where we're asking for feedback. So if players don't mind, if they would please go there and enter stuff like that, and we'll get it fixed as fast as we can.
There's a question about the gloves. Do you have gloves in your inventory? I've actually got a pair just to show them.
Nope, I don't.
Here.
I'm done.
We do. Here you go.
There's the gloves. Anyway, so that's the gloves.
Cool.
We'll add. Some of the clothing options are pretty limited, like the shirts, the pants, the gloves are all pretty limited right now, and we'll be adding more of those over time, as well, just for variety. Do they have a UAE in Hong Kong? I will ask. I don't know on that, but I will make a note to ask him. In fact, I'm going to take a break and write that down. I'll find out. Post a message on the forums if you would, Sasquin, and I'll see it and respond to it once I talk to him. Will there be different packs with different prices and bonuses in Steam? We're currently discussing that. In fact, we had a team meeting this morning, and that's one of the things we discussed at the team meetings. The issue came about is, what perks do we offer? What makes it worth somebody paying more money? We want to make sure it has something of value for you. If somebody is willing to pay more money. Any plans for a bicycle? Two-wheeled vehicles are actually harder than a four-wheeled vehicle because of the physics. And so we'll add a four-wheel vehicle first, but I would absolutely love to have bicycles and motorcycles in this game. It really
Bicycle Simulator 2014.
it just really it really fits the game. You know, there's where you know you can find a bike and it'd be a lot easier to fix up a bike than a whole car. And so I definitely want bicycles in this game. Yes. Can you build bases at the moment? Not on the public ones. No. On my version that I'm testing with, yes. So soon on the base building. I just don't want to give a date yet. Yeah, the character arms, I think we do need some more movement there. You know, even this. You know, as I mentioned earlier, all the animations are a work in progress. You know, everybody has feedback on them, and they're being improved every day. I got a big batch yesterday. So, yeah.
We can go.
I don't know what else to say on the animation besides, you know, we'll continually improve them, and we appreciate the feedback, but just understand that they're going to be changed all the time.
Yeah. I think one of those new houses is actually in here that's got all the loot in it.
All right. Yeah, if you can find it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Can you show the building system? If you go back and so if you go to YouTube, it's Entrada YouTube/Entrada Interactive, ENTRADA, or just search. There's a video that shows base building from like a year ago, and so I recommend to go back and watch that. That'll give you a very good idea. And also in the pre-alpha, if you look at the pre-alpha trailer that's on Steam and on YouTube as well, there's a base that you can see in there. That's a base that I built using the base building system. So those will give you some ideas. But yeah, there's a video that shows us building stuff.
Oh, jeez!
I heard one.
You. I turn around thinking, here, I'll just see where you're at.
Bring him down this way. I'll try to kill him.
There you go.
He is holding.
Oh.
There we go.
Complimentary tea bag.
That's a spiker for you. Die! Oh, I'm out of ammo. Heard the click.
Good shot, though.
Alright, anyway.
I think it's actually this next street over. It's the one that's got the new house to show all the loot.
Next street over. Okay, I'll follow you while I'm talking here. Voice chat. So, voice chat was another area where CryEngine didn't allow us to add anything to the audio layers. However, in their very latest update, they released the source code to the audio engine. So that is something we will definitely be looking at. We want it in the game. No questions about that. We definitely want it in the game. No time frame as well. But yes, that is a lot. Will there be weapon attachments? Yes. This is actually an attachment. This works just like any other attachment right now. So with the M4 that we've worked on, there's actually, I think, 4 or 5 attachment slots you can put attachments in. So it works the same way. You'll just pick up an attachment and you drag it into the attachment slot, just like that. And then, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look at the bottom of my pistol, there isn't a mag in it, and then oh, this is a small mag, darn. If you look right at the very bottom, there's a little lip. It's probably really hard to see, but you can see there's a magazine in it. If I do this, it's gone. When I had the long magazine earlier, you could see that it was sticking out the bottom. So it does update the weapons, so you can see what's attached to them.
Yeah, so the houses down at the end of the street can show loot on that. I know I've seen a couple things about showing the crafting system. I guess we could show farming.
I'm gonna go in here really fast.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but since the last update, things can spawn in vehicles. I'll give that as a little tip. All of these areas now as well. So double check all the areas from before, because a lot of these things craft. A lot of these areas all spawn items now.
I got my hatchet now. Yay!
Pretty much almost everything in the game spawns loot now. See this little enclosure here? Loot. So that's kind of my general feedback I was getting at earlier, guys, is there's loot everywhere. Oh, there's a backpack. There is loot kind of everywhere in the game now. So don't don't look just for loot in houses. If you go through houses and they're empty, definitely check outside. Trash piles, cars, sheds, you know, enclosures. Pretty much everything in the game has loot in it now.
Some scrap metal there for you.
Yeah. See helmet in this one right there? I'll swap to the beanie and show you. So there's the motorcycle helmet. And if I had glasses on, you could see the glasses underneath the motorcycle helmet as well. Beanie. Same thing. I'll leave my motorcycle helmet on because it's awesome. All right.
There's the scrap metal.
Did you spawn in that gun? With the gun? No. There was the gun in the... We found the gun in the gas station. And for the people that were around, saw where it spawned at. So, anyway. Check on top of stuff. You don't spawn with a gun. You spawn with a flashlight.
You go to that house to your right. That's the one that's it's actually new.
That one over there? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
See if there's a way to get in there.
Yeah, one little mental note is I noticed a lot of these houses have solid fences. We should open up some of these fences.
Yeah.
Just for gameplay, so if you get in trouble, you can run out through a back gate somewhere. And there should always be, in my opinion, a way to get out the back of some.
Ooh, helmet.
Oh yeah, I haven't even seen this house yet. Just one of the things that's kind of fun about working on this game is there's stuff I haven't even seen. So I've never seen this furnished. Okay, that isn't an openable fridge, but there are some of these. This is the black one I was talking about earlier. There's a couple of these in the game that each of the doors open separately. So I'm just going to walk through this house because I haven't seen this house yet either. But yeah, like definitely check down in cabinets, on top of stuff. Yeah, see? See that? Check on top of stuff. Check behind stuff. We spawn stuff behind couches, for example. But yeah, definitely on, under, and in. Check them all, guys. Because there's stuff everywhere. Okay, stuff there. Anyway.
Actually, what do you have your settings on right now, Terry? Are you running very high, or are you running...
Let me check. So 1x on the anti-aliasing. 2x for me causes a little bit of a blur effect on the player character, so I run with 1x. And I'm running very high on everything else. Yeah.
Cool.
And I have a GTX 670. If anybody wants to know, that's what I'm running with.
I'm actually running on a laptop right now, and I'm getting 30, 40 frames a second, and I'm on very high with
I'll just reiterate, release date for Steam, we're figuring out that date right now. And hopefully sooner than later. The things with the Steam release is we want to get all the alpha testers playing the game first. That was our promise to them, is if they helped us and pre-ordered, they would get to play before it was on Steam. We still have several hundred of those guys to get in, so we'll get those guys in. And then we need to make sure the servers are stable. That's all we need to release on Steam. And both those things are very close. Oh, I just want to show you. So we have the new sounds in for the doors as well. Anyway, those are some things that got updated last patch. I'm scanning for questions here, guys. Yeah, pre-orders are closed until it's on Steam at this point. We know there's a lot of people that would like to buy it, but it's just easier for us now to use Steam, so we don't have to manually send out emails. Motion blur is bugged in third person. Okay, we'll look at that. I always turn motion blur off, so I would never notice, but... No, I have a GTX 670. The reason I'm running at 1280 is for Twitch, because that's what the channel is 1280. So that's why I'm running this at this resolution. I generally run at 1920 when I'm running it at home. Wild animals, there's deer. In fact, we were chasing and seeing Spiker kill deer earlier. That's the only big one. There's all kinds of little, I call them fluff animals, boids in the game. There's squirrels, snakes, birds.
Got some frogs.
Fish, frogs. I'm sure I'm missing some. Rats. Yeah, a lot of those little... I'll go down here and shoot a bird for you guys for fun. You can shoot them. Melee doesn't work very well. I haven't figured out why. Like, if you try to melee a rat on the ground, they don't die, but you can shoot them and they'll die. If you want to waste your ammo on them, go for it. But yeah, melee doesn't seem to affect them, and that's really low on my priority list to fix. Right now you can gather wood, stone, and metal. But all you can do with them is craft components. Oh yeah, there's spiders in the game. I don't think we have ants, but... yeah. It's be a lot funner when I get the shotgun in. There we go. Got him. There we go. Anyway, so you can do that if you want. If you want to waste your ammo and attract people, go for it. Hiding the HUD. Let me see. I think there is a command for that I added. HUD. Hide 1. There you go. HUD underscore hide 1. Turns it all off. Looks like it's bugged though when I came back in. I've only used that for our internal screenshot, so it looks like I need to fix a little bit of it. But so when you turn it back on, it looks like you need to press G a couple times to toggle everything back off. No, all the little animals are all client side. So me killing those birds, other players wouldn't need it. That's just, those are like little fluff things just for fun. Will you have mutant animals? Yes. But there will be mutant animals. We actually have some models of mutated animals as well. We have a lot of things we have this big backlog of stuff. We have, I think, 4 or 5 different mutants modeled. We have, I think, 7 or 8 animals that have been modeled. Some of them are mutated versions. If you look at a really old video that out there, there's a pig, and there's a mutated version of that pig as well. And there's a dog and a mutated version of the dog. Some of those type of things around. Yeah, for the perks, we've talked about it. We just don't have a way of doing that yet in the game, of having people with certain skins or something. But yeah, loot off mutants, yes. I just haven't implemented that yet. And also being able to skin and harvest meat from animals as well. That's something that will be in. Let's see. I'm checking here for more questions. So the tennis shoes and canvas shoes I mentioned earlier, it's purely cosmetic right now. There's no difference gameplay-wise right now. It's just purely for fun. You can run around without your shoes currently if you want. It'll save a little bit of weight, but that's up to you.
Running my skivvies. Can't catch me.
So let me look at some of these houses here. So these are some of the houses in the last update that all got populated that weren't in the prior one. I'd like to find one of these that opens. Don't know where it's at. So a lot more, like I mentioned earlier, this is the town of Woodhaven. If people want to start learning names. We have some signs made that we're going to add to the roads so people will know. So since the last update, I would say probably half of these houses now have interiors in them that are finished. And we'll add more variety over time as well to some of these. This is one that opens. Yeah, so there's one that opens. Has a little animation. So we'll add more of those as well. Cannibalism, I don't know on that one. I don't have anything against it. I just don't know if it's something we want to bother with adding is all. I don't have any moral issue with it or anything of the sort, so. But it's just a matter of, yeah, do we want to take the time to implement it or not, type of a thing. That's all it comes down to. Right now, ammunition is only found through, picking up like magazines. However, for the bow and arrow, I think we'll definitely have craftable arrows for the bow and arrow when we get that in. Again, if you want to see the bow, it's in one of our old videos on YouTube as well. There's a lot of that stuff we revealed a long time ago, but then like I said, we had to re-implement everything, and so that's why it isn't in yet. So we have this huge backlog that we're going to be getting in as fast as we can. Let's see, will there be a map in the game and binoculars? Yeah, we'll add binoculars. Binoculars are kind of a special case because you have to change how far you can see with them. Right now that view distances for a lot of items are limited. That's why you see kind of grass within a certain distance to you. And so with binoculars, you have to kind of adjust all that and adjust the LODs for items, so you don't see the low resolution versions and everything. But yeah, binoculars will be in. There will be a sniper rifle in the game, but as I mentioned, we're not going to go hardcore military loot. That isn't this game. I understand some people really like military loot, but we will have some, but there won't be a lot. It'll be a lot harder to find and a lot more rare essentially to get. Can't use some dev command. Actually, all cheats are disabled. I can't even spawn anything in on the servers. They are completely locked out. The server can only spawn items and all the cheats are disabled. So, nope. I can't do it. There's zero way. It just isn't possible.
Ooh. Another magazine. That one was well hidden.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's what I was saying, the people that complain a lot about loot is, I think some just, not trying to, say anything negatively, but I think some of them just don't look, take the time to look.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem is, there's a beanie there, for example.
Ooh, their pistol. It's not hard to find stuff. I mean, it's just, like you said, you just got to take your time.
Yeah. Like I know, for example, that there's stuff that spawns behind these panes of glass. And so if you're inside, you can't see the items that spawn. So you either have to stand on top like I did and look down, or before you enter the store, you have to look across the storefront to see if there's anything hidden there. So I'm not going to reveal all of our secrets, but there's a lot of stuff like that in the game, guys, that you just kind of have to... People will learn over time. But yeah, you kind of really have to look. Dynamic weather is in the game. It's fully functional. There's rain and fog and different levels of rain and fog in the game.
Question about the VoIP in game.
Yeah, I addressed that earlier. So as I mentioned, Crytek finally released the source code to their audio engine, and so now we can actually add it. So it's just a matter of priorities. I want it in, as I mentioned, definitely want it in the game. So, and we can technically do it now. Airdrops, no. No plans for airdrops.
Creator's question. Answer that one too about attachments. Yep.
Yeah,
weapons.
we'll have other ways, but airdrops, no. More gore, Gibbs blood, yes. Sniper scope attachments, yes. Again, we don't want to turn this into a sniper game, so don't expect really high-powered scopes and rifles. It just won't be there. Yeah, glass shatters. I think all these are set up. Let me check. Oh,
Click.
well, that didn't work.
Here, where are you? I actually got a couple mag. Oh yeah, you're right up the
I don't know if
street.
I can break it with a hatchet, but I don't know. I don't know if these are set up or not. But yes, there's a lot of the windows that break in the game. Some of these I think we just need to kind of double check them all. I know the house ones break and stuff, so yes, they do break. Yeah, like I said, you know, the snipers would be ultra rare, guys. There wouldn't be any doubt about that.
There you are. Here you go. Got a couple mags.
Okay.
I found a pistol too.
There we go. Did your windows break in your shops, Ryan?
I gotta double check. I can't remember if I might have turned those off for testing.
I'll find a house.
Oh, the supermarket windows do break. I know that.
I think all these break. Nope.
Yeah, the
We'll need to double check those. The supermarket does?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like we need to double check a lot of the glass in the game, but yeah, it definitely supports it. Because we were just messing around with it the other day on one of the houses, in fact. Well, that one just shattered, so that didn't go. There's some that shatter and there's some that break like you'd expect. Yeah, there are other ones that break into pieces, but I don't know which houses they're on. Let's see. Do you get drunk in the game? No, not right now.
I'd get drunk out the game.
Loot respawning be affected by server settings? No. That's locked down. Yes, bullet drop. So the game does have bullet drop. It's full physics on the bullet drop. Let me see if I can... Let me get a little bit closer here. I am at the top of this bus down here. Alright. So there's a little bit of drop just in that. So it's in about halfway up the bus. What I actually did is when I worked on the bullet physics, I went out and found real world values for the velocity of the bullets, the drag of the bullets, all that stuff. And so that's what it's currently using. It's a pretty complex system. So it should be pretty, you know, obviously we're not simulating a real shooter, but it should be at least believable on the drop and the physics and everything of the bullets.
I have seen on some of the gameplay recently guys trying to shoot long range with a pistol, and it's not very successful,
Yeah.
which is great because that's more realistic.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I went and looked up curves for the bullets out of a Glock, and tried to simulate that. So it should be really close to realistic as far as for the amount of bullet drop in the pistol, and the same with the other weapons, and even the bow and the arrow. I did the same with the arrow. It's modeled correctly. I'm gonna go run back down the road.
Okay.
So that's kind of all I had as far as for kind of the development update. I went through it all. People have been here, kind of heard the whole thing. I talked about kind of the game mechanics, where we're at with the game, the current status of the release, items, materials, the sounds in the game, the AI in the game, the spawning system. So if anybody has any questions, you know, go ahead and please ask. I'll run down the road and see if we can find another spiker here, and answer a few more questions.
There's one about just running around the world. I think there's a spiker up in the woods if we just stay straight off the path. I think he hides in there, or at least I've seen him.
They're everywhere. It's all random. So
If we go that way, I actually might be able to show kind of the water too, and then cut across. So some of the guys were commenting how cool it was that you could actually float down with the stream.
just a minute. Give you guys another little tip. See those containers there? Some of those doors open, and there's stuff in them. So I've seen a lot of people run past these containers. Yeah, that next one there. There you go. So a little tip, loot's everywhere. Next update, there'll be loot in this big warehouse. That just got added. All right, running down the road. Will you be able to have your own server? Yes. We're not sure of the time frame on that. Right now we're focused on making the servers stable, and then we'll work with the hosting provider. But yeah, that's the plan, is you'll be able to. It'll be pretty locked down though at the first. There'll be a lot of stuff you can't modify. So, and I'm sure all that'll be revealed as far as what you can and cannot do, so there won't be any surprises. Let me Alt-Tab here. Great idea is a perk. The name is Graffiti. Yeah, we've talked about that. I do like that idea. Stop all the random killing. The more stuff in the game for the players that do, the less killing there will be. And so we're going to be working on a lot more stuff. Chop trees. I presume you need to make the trees fall down. We don't, as far as we know right now, there's no way to do that in the current version of CryEngine we're using. We'll see if there's any way at all we can do it, but it just isn't possible. That's all handled way down in their layers, and we just can't do it. I'm going to run through the woods and see if there's one down here.
Yeah.
I know there's quite a few that spawn down here at times.
I'd say the right side want to take us back to that beach line, too.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a spot here for some of you guys.
I will say one thing I've noticed playing, too. It's so easy to lose somebody in the forest.
It is. I love it.
In fact, I just lost you.
I love it for that idea. So one of the funny comments that we got is somebody said our forest looked better than the game The Forest. Because of the detail and all the variety and just the way they look. So I thought that was kind of humorous. Let me check. Every building enterable, yes. I think there's one exception. There's a little building you can't.
I think that's a little powerhouse.
Yeah, it's that little pump house. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first assets ever made for the game, too. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find a spiker while I'm answering questions here. A group system. If you mean a traditional grouping system, probably not. We'll look at some other stuff, though. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a spiker here, guys. Here's a deer. And he's bugged. That happens once in a while. I don't know why. We'll figure it out. My guess is he got killed, and that's why you can walk through him. But it just doesn't show him laying down. There's a deer. So here's a deer, guys, if you didn't see it. Oh, he saw me. Let's see if I can find him. Not sure where he went. Hear that? The shell in the water? Die. Die, Bambi, die! There he is. He's dead. Well, I don't know where the spikers are at. I'm to your left. I saw your head.
You down on the beach line?
No, I'm behind you right now.
What? Oh.
Walk through those bushes again. So there's an example of all the physics for all the bushes in the game. So all of them move and react as players run through them. So you can actually sometimes know there's a player around by watching the bushes move, because they move the bushes if they're trying to sneak up on you. Well, I don't know where the spikers are all at. Like I said, it's just all random. See. So in this game, you never know if you're safe, because you can be walking through the middle of the forest and get attacked by a spiker. They are not just in the cities. They're all over the game. Try to see if I see one over there somewhere. I'm not seeing one. I'll go look down here. Let me look at questions. We add bears and wolves. Yeah, we'll add more animals. I'm not sure which animals. So I don't know if it'll be bears or wolves or both or something else. There's another dead deer. That one probably got killed by a spiker since it's on the shore. The spiker chased him and killed him as well, so it's pretty funny. How many people on the dev team? There's about 20 to 22. It kind of depends on how you count them. And none of us do this full time. You know, everybody has another job right now. None of us do this professionally for a living. So it's a true indie team. Can you throw your beanie in the water? You mean like drop it in the water? Sure.
Long live the beanie.
Yeah. I'll drop it in the water just for you, bud.
I actually did see something the other day that was pretty awesome. You can
to the water gods.
you can punch somebody in the water, which is awesome. So you can still do melee combat, and when the player dies, the physics
Go ahead, sorry.
the physics still kick in, so his body will continue to float down water.
There goes the helmet. Say bye to the helmet, guys. See it? Real-time currents there, bud. That's awesome. The helmet's gone. So one of the things a couple people gave us feedback on, I think the current in this river is too strong. So if you swim out, see how it pushes me down?
Mm.
So you can go across it, but I think it's a little bit too strong right now. So I think we'll tone down the current a little bit. But
Oh,
yeah,
there you are.
if it's an item that is buoyant, it'll float down the river if you throw it in it.
I'm on the bridge. I'm going to try to jump off of it. I couldn't see where you were at.
We just run around on an EU server, but there is no loot. I can guarantee you there's loot on the server. You just have to find it.
I've seen a lot with that kind of stuff. Like if you come behind somebody that's already gone through and looted it,
yeah,
sometimes it looks like it's empty.
That's why I use my Easter egg analogy, because all the obvious spots are gone right away, and so you kind of have to learn where to look. How much will it cost on Steam? Unknown. We have an idea, but we don't know. It isn't set yet.
Ooh, can show the foggy forest up here, the swamp area.
Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe we'll find a spiker down here. There was one around because it killed that deer. Yeah, we know about the wall in the house. I think like 3 people have mentioned that so far. So we'll look at getting that fixed. Things like that affect gameplay we want to fix. So here's the swamp area. We've shown this in videos before. This isn't really anything new, but...
I think it goes to show too that definitely in the world design aspects of it that it's not a lot of just kind of copy paste. Like there's a lot of unique areas on the map so far. I mean even like you were saying before, like it's this is only a small portion of the map, but you can see kind of all the little unique areas that you can go into.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to add diversity just so it's more visually interesting as players run around to get the world. It makes it a lot more enjoyable for the players. They're not seeing the same forest over and over. Cars, don't know. I talked about it earlier in the stream. I don't know if you were around then, but they will be worked on. No date yet. A boat, yes. There's actually... I'll have to see if it's in the map. There was actually a boat that was tied up to a dock. And it was a little secret that if you shot the rope, it would break the rope, and you could push people around the lake in the boat already.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not to give it away, but it is on the outskirts of Woodhaven.
So if you guys find that, I don't know if they can get to it. I think it's on the other side of a wall. But that was a little Easter egg that I put in the game a long time ago. That you can actually shoot the rope and push people around in the boat for fun.
We need to have a, if we had rights to it, the sitting on the dock of the bay song play. Jump in the boat, push it off.
Yeah, because the boat had physics enabled, so you can just push the boat around the lake for fun.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this one.
So all these have loot now, just, for the players to know. Yeah, free look, I was just doing that.
This is actually one of the new houses too that I just got done doing.
You get catch it as well. So, yep, pretty look. And it works in third person as well, so you can pan around in third person. So, similar to Arma style, it's full free look system. How long have you been working on the game? I started on the game 2 years ago. So, a couple of the people have been around with me that long, and a lot of other people kind of joined over time, but like I said, we were really hoping to have this out almost a year ago, but because of the updates Crytek made to the SDK we use, we literally had to redo it all. It cost us many, many months. Yeah, we really hope that releasing this on Steam will allow us to all dedicate full time to this and hire some more resources as well. You know, we have no idea what to expect from sales. You know, we hope it does okay, and you know, we can really start going fast. Skill points, no, there won't be any type of a skill point system. The reason for that is, again, kind of to touch on the organic nature of the game. As players play the game, you learn like where spawns are at, you learn crafting recipes, you learn how to, you know, the bullet drop system, you learn how that works. And so those are kind of all organic leveling systems. As you play the game, you learn how the game works. And so there won't be skill points, but as you play, it's kind of like the organic leveling where you learn how to do all that stuff a lot better. Let me hit this. So right now, this is the way that the harvesting works. So you smack the tree, and there's a random chance that it spawns out a resource. Because we can't remove the trees yet. We would love to do that, but it isn't possible yet.
Ooh,
and then
the tractor actually does sheet metal too.
Yeah, it does. And so you just drag in your components and you click craft. And that's the way the crafting system works. I'm going to update this to where when you get the right recipe, kind of Minecraft style, where it tells you what you'll craft, so you don't have to kind of keep clicking it and guessing. So once you get the right components, it'll give you a little symbol. So I'll implement that as well. Excuse me. Let me scroll here and make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm gonna wrap the stream up soon. I don't want to keep going for too long.
I think you've gotten most of them. I've been watching them as they watching questions that come through.
So the straps on the backpack. This is almost like an inside joke. It's taken so long. This was actually started on a year ago, maybe, adding these straps, and it just never got finished. So we can do it. It's actually skinned to the player. It would move with the player, but the straps have just never been added. So this is a futuristic magnetic backpack. We'll just go with that. But yeah. Oh no, I'm out of water. Oh, where's some water? I'll show them how to refill a canteen. I don't know if anybody's ever done that yet in this game because canteens just got introduced.
Yeah, actually that was in the last match. I haven't even done it.
All right, guys, here you go. It's trivial. You find your water puddle.
Damn, that's a big old puddle.
And, yeah. Right now it says consume, but there you go. We'll add animations eventually. So you can just stand here all day and do this if you want.
I'm actually curious. Can you fill it up, drop it? Because I actually don't have any fluids left.
Yep. So you can do this to get all your water back if you want. So that's how backpacks. All you have to do is you have to stand ankle deep in water, and then you can refill it. There you go.
Sweet.
And that's how the canteen works. We'd be able to ride tractors. I would love to make that thing drivable just for the fun of it. So maybe
that would be a lot of fun.
It would be fun, but you know, you look at it from a practicality standpoint, it'd be better to add a vehicle where you can have other players in it, like a truck or a car or something. But from a fun standpoint, the tractor would be a blast to work in. I can ask you if you use a library in C++ to parse the JSON string for the inventory system. Yes, there's a lot of them that you can find. Same with the action script. There's an action script one we use. Diseases. We've talked about diseases, but nothing serious yet. But there's a game design document where we list some ideas related to that. So possibly. Radiation icon does not work. We don't have it works, but we don't have any radiation zones in the game. But it does work, but there just isn't anything to reduce it yet. The reason for that is because I need to get the anti-radiation pills working first. So yes. The player eating, drinking sounds are server side. Yes, everybody can. In fact, he just ate, as you can hear.
Yep.
And so everybody hears those within a radius. So yes. So obviously eat and drink when you know you're safe, because players will hear it around you. RV motorhomes with a meth lab.
Actually, we do have the mobile homes.
That's another one that'd be fun to add. So maybe. We need to get the more practical stuff in first, obviously, and then it'd be fun to add some of that stuff. So the name Miscreated comes from the mutants. We threw around a lot of names, and it's because of all the mutants, all the mutations. We'll have a lot of mutated animals and mutants both in the game. So they're miscreated humans, essentially, and miscreated animals. So that's exactly where it came from. Try and get on the roof.
Yeah, you can actually. It's not easy, but
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hacker.
fumble fingers for the win. That's horrible.
At the current release, the release version on Steam, you cannot build bases yet. But if you look at the video on YouTube, you can build that base. All those components can be built in our internal version still. I'm going to laugh if you die. That'd be hilarious. Anyway. Sorry. Okay.
There we go.
There you go. Yep. See? Sniper spot confirmed. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream soon here. If you have any questions, post them in chat one last time. I'll stay for maybe 5 minutes. Have work to do. Need to keep the masses happy right now, that's for sure. Lots of features to add. And looking, there's stuff, like I said, there's stuff. Something on that shelf. Yeah, flashlight. Squeegee.
Get off my house. My house now.
So yeah, as I was saying earlier, make sure you kind of double check everywhere when you're looting stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, I've seen people walk past pistols in houses. What types of grenades, explodables, throwables? We're going to add craftable explodable items. I don't know. We can support grenades. We have a grenade model and stuff, but I would rather do more of a apocalyptic style than to do military grenades. They serve the same purpose, but it just fits the game world better. More alpha tester keys, yes, I will send some out tonight. I don't know how many yet. I'll have to look at numbers. Hi, Angel. There, you happy? Map changes and updates, hopefully every release. We made quite a few in this last one. And the current area is almost done, I would say. And then we'll start expanding into building another town. The clothes will have advantages, yes, they will. For example, this temperature icon does work. If you play at night, you'll actually see your temperature decreasing. And so we'll eventually have different clothes that affect this. And also the campfires. We have a campfire that's a craftable item. And if you stand next to the campfire, it'll actually warm you back up as well. All right. Last chance for questions. The weapon raised lower when you got when you got next to surface like this. I think that's what you're talking about. We had to redo all of the animations for the game, and it's just never been added back in. So he's talking about, in one of the videos, when you got close to a wall like this, the player would raise the pistol up automatically. And as you leaned the side, then it would lower again so you could shoot. So we'll add that back in, I just don't know when. Can you craft a campfire now? No. The only thing in the currently released version are just the crafting components. The sheet metal, the plywood, and the lumber. Soon. Campfire is probably the first thing I like to get in just so people can see it. It looks really cool. There's actually one, if people want to stick around, I'm just going to run down and I'll show you there's a campfire in the middle of some tents, and that's the one you can craft.
Well, that's a good question about the primary and secondary slots, the generic slots. About carrying a hatchet and a...
Oh, you want to carry a hatchet, pistol, and a flashlight. So you want to carry 3 secondaries. Yeah, I don't think we'll do that. There's several reasons for that, where it's limited to 2 right now. These are meant for primary weapons, for the bigger weapons that will be on your back when you're running around. So things like, rifles will be here, baseball bats, things that are larger that we don't want people to hide in backpacks and blue jeans and stuff. So that's what these 2 will be for, are the things you can carry on your back. Yes, craftable attachments will come in. We definitely want to add that. So I'm just going to run down here and show people the campfire if you want to see it. People I've seen it in streams, they probably just didn't realize that's the craftable one. In fact, I'm going to take a little detour to show you a sound we added for fun. Let's see, why you took off weapon raise low, I did that. Barbecue will be cool, yeah. The campfire, you can cook stuff in it. That's part of it. That was also implemented about a year ago. Like I said, I apologize. There was a lot of stuff that we added that was in this game a year ago that we just haven't added back in yet. My Twitch quality settings, the bitrate is set at 22, and the rest are all the default recommendations on the Twitch page.
Gonna go show them the damn sound.
I think we must add it after the patch because it isn't working. So yeah, that must not have been in the patch. Oh, there's a bug there. I'll have to look into why. Yeah, so another sound effect the sound guys are working on.
iDobbs, I think he said his net crashed. Just a quick recap on the whole weapons raising and lowering, why we took that out. Or it wasn't in.
It was all just because of animations. The system's still in there, it's just because of animations. We don't have them.
Yeah.
Will you be able to, you're asking if you can dual wield weapons? No. Like a pistol and a flashlight, or a pistol and a hatchet. It does support it. So CryEngine does support it. Let me state that to start with. It just gets a lot more complex when you start adding animations in, and so we don't have any plans of adding that right now. But technically it is possible to do that. Yeah, CryEngine, it was an interesting choice for us. When I first started down this path, picking an engine, I actually tried Unreal, I tried Unity, and this was back in the UDK days. So this is before, obviously, UE4, Unreal 4 even existed. And I tried their scripting system, Unreal Script, and to be blunt, I hated it. I did not like it at all. I've been programming for many, many years, and I did not like it. And so I looked into CryEngine, and there were a lot of people that stated that a game like this was not possible in CryEngine. That it was impossible to do an open world game, your FPS would suck, and so on. So hopefully we're proving all those guys wrong. Because I think it runs pretty well. Obviously there's a lot of room for improvement still, but maybe we'll get lucky and find a spiker somewhere.
It's funny when you're normally playing, you get like 2 or 3 that come up behind you.
Yeah. They're around somewhere. I'm saying, you just don't know where they're at. You can run through bushes and find one. All right, here's the campfire for the people that wanted to see the campfire. This is the campfire you can craft right here. So that's what it'll look like. And when you go up to it, you'll have an inventory. So you press G and it'll have slots over here where you can put stuff in the campfire. And you'll be able to cook stuff. And there's meat that appears on the bars across there as well as you add meat. And the meat changes when it's done. So it's kind of a spit type of an idea there. But that's the sound, and that's the effect. So that's what it looks like. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to wrap up the stream. Let me see if there's any last second questions. This is a private server, just because we didn't want to have issues. We'll actually set up a time, I think this next week, where we'll play with people that have the game for fun. So kind of play with devs tonight, have an idea. But yeah, for this, I just didn't want to have interference, essentially. When is reloading? Are you talking about reloading animation? You can reload just by doing this. So I presume you mean an animation. I believe the animation is done, so I'll have to look at hooking it up. These tents, by the way, loot. Check tents.
Yeah, there's actually a can of peas right there in front of you.
Yeah, see, pants in that one. Yeah, kind of what I mentioned earlier. I mean, there's loot everywhere in this world. So if people are running through, oh yeah, swag. if people are running through the game and only looking for loot in houses, you're kind of playing the game wrong. Because that's where there's the swag right there. See that? Yeah. That's the tent rustling sound we were testing. I don't know if you can hear that on the stream or not, but it's one of the sound effects. I'll just check these for motorcycle helmet, beanie. I think, so as players play the game more, I think they'll start learning where a lot more of these spawns are at. But there are spawns, like I mentioned, we're trying to add spawns almost everywhere in the game. So you really have to check everything, or else you're going to miss a lot of stuff in this game. All right. How many gnomes are in the game? I don't know. Originally, I placed 10, but I think several of those have been removed. So I'm not sure. I could do a search, but I'm not sure. I know there's a few kind of hidden around still. When can we save, store loot? When the base building is fully implemented. It's all functional as far as for a coding standpoint. We just may have to make sure it's all balanced. But the game currently does support it all. It does store it in the database and everything currently. When we'll be able to fish? Not for a while. That's when the things would be fun to add, but it isn't a core mechanic right now. Characters will be customable, yes, eventually. Weapons in the game currently, there's just the pistol, the flashlight, and the hatchet. The plan is the next update will add some. That's all I'm going to say about that. Adding prone animations, yes. When can we rent servers from Trinity Games? Oh, Carl says there are 11 gnomes in the game, so yeah, good luck. The reason they're in the game is because at one point we were going to do a contest where if somebody could find 10 gnomes, they got free keys. And we might introduce that in, so that might be something you'll see come up in the future. So if you do happen to see where gnomes are at in the game, you might want to make a mental note of where those things are at.
Dev note, change positions of gnomes.
So that's actually why they're in the game. Will there be a trading system? I presume you mean like an actual trade system like this? No. You just drop it and pick it back up. Yeah, we might add something like that, but right now there are no plans to do that. Yep, hit my lean key. So people that don't know, there's leaning in the game as well. So you can lean around quarters. Flashlights will require batteries at a future point. Right now they don't. But yes. It'll work just like this, where you have a slot in your flashlight for a battery, and you drag a battery in. It'll use the exact same system. It's kind of a lower priority. All right, I'm gonna. Man, this fog is getting dense. So somebody's asking earlier about weather patterns. The fog is a weather pattern. That's why it looks like this in the game right now. And it's all server side, so all the clients should be synchronized. And the server just randomly picks when to play now and then. And so you never know when one's going to start. You never know when it's going to end. You know, the duration of it varies. So it's just all completely random in the game world. Yeah, the friendly dance. Friendly dance. Kind of weird how he leans in third person, but yeah. How long do items last on the server? Right now, until the server restarts. And I showed this in a previous stream, but this might be a little bit of a pro tip for people. I can hide all my stuff in my backpack. I can find a bush. So if you find a spare backpack, this is a little tip for you. Find a bush like this that nobody will probably find it, and you drop your backpack. There you go. And you can come back now and get that until the server restarts. So if the server doesn't restart for a day, you can come back the next day and that backpack with all the stuff will still be in it sitting there. So that's kind of a pro tip right now. So you can do that in the game. It isn't stored in the database, so if the server restarts, it's gone. But as long as the server doesn't restart, that will be there. Can you put a backpack inside of a backpack? No. There's a check where you cannot put, like right here. The item cannot be moved inside of itself. So you can't put stuff inside of itself. If you find pants on the ground that are empty, you can store those in. But if the pants, so like if I do, if I do this, and if I drop this on the ground and then try to move that into another storage, it wouldn't let me because there's something inside of the pants. So it has to be empty in order to store it inside of something else. Uh-oh. There's a spiker, guys. I heard him growl. I don't know if you heard that. And see the deer? He's trying to kill the deer. He's chasing that deer. No, don't come over here, dork. He's training me.
You're distracted. I may steal your backpack.
Go for it. Oh, nope, he saw me. There he is. I'm going to let him kill me, then I'm going to end the stream. Right now, the servers don't have to be restarted. They're running really well. And anyway, so I let him kill me. The plan eventually is to have the servers only restart when we do maintenance. And we don't know when that'll be. It'll probably be like every week to 2 weeks based on features and what we need to implement. So that's the current plan. Is it won't be like Arma where you have to restart them every 3 or 4 hours. They should be up for many days. And so that'll help a lot. I know I'm a big DayZ fan. I think they've done an awesome job. But it's very annoying and immersion breaking when you're playing and every 3 to 4 hours the server stops responding on you. You have to join other servers. It gets extremely annoying. So hopefully you won't have to deal with that with this game. G and player name. I've heard that. I will test that. Somebody told me the same thing. So I will check that and get that fixed if that is the case. So how often does loot respawn? It respawns all the time. There isn't a set time, like it doesn't respawn after 20 or 30 minutes. Loot's constantly respawning in the world based on what's being picked up, what's being dropped, the areas. It's a worldwide loot system. Like in the early days of DayZ, they had essentially a container on the ground is what it was, and you could pick up all the items from it, run 200 meters away, and turn around and come back, and it would respawn. Ours is Yeah, so you have a Gene, your name and never crash. I'll look into it. I've heard that from other people that it does crash for some reason. I don't know why. But the loot in this game is server-wide. It's all done at a server level. You know, an individual loot location doesn't spawn on its own. The server handles it and spawns stuff in as needed all over the world. And that's kind of why my tip earlier is don't keep running around the same town. You know, you need to move. You need to look around. Look in, you know, sheds, barns, tents, loot, you know, trash piles. Loot is everywhere in this game. All right, guys, I thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys joining us. And for the latest information, you know, the forums are the best to kind of watch for information on the game and the progress there. And we'll keep everyone up to date on the progress. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.